What's up, guys? Your boy 22K13. I'm here to give you guys a wrestling news wrap up for April 27, 2015. China open to a TNA return. Kurt Angle comment. Miz and Summer Rae talk internet fans, Reigns, NXT, The Divas, and more. China open to a TNA return. Kurt Angle comment. Former WWE Diva China recently posted the following on Twitter, revealing she would be interested in working with TNA again. And this is what she tweeted. And I quote, "My debut in 2011 was epic, and working with Kurt Angle, if I could do it again, I would." Kurt Angle responded by posting the following on Twitter, "Mr. China. Miz and Summer Rae talk internet fans, Reigns, NXT, The Divas, and more. WWE star The Miz and Summer Rae, who appeared in the WWE studio-produced movie The Marine 4, recently appeared on the Sam Roberts Wrestling Podcast. During the interview, Miz and Summer Rae talked internet fans, Roman Reigns, the Diva Division, NXT, and more. More details on the upcoming ESPN E50 WWE Behind the Curtain documentary airing in May. Trailer included. As noted, ESPN will be airing an E50 WWE Behind the Curtain documentary special on Tuesday, May 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The following documentary synopsis has been issued, and you can watch the trailer in the video player below. Each 50 Picture presents WWE Behind the Curtain, a new 1-hour documentary film featuring unpredicted behind-the-scenes access to Vince McMahon's billion-dollar global empire. The show will follow 3 amateur wrestlers on their grueling high-stakes climb with dreams of making it to the big show. Complemented by a candid interview with WWE President Vince McMahon, his Executive Vice President of Talent Development, Paul Levesque, or Triple H, as well as former WWE talent Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and Hulk Hogan. The result is an inside look into what is perhaps the greatest spectacle in sports entertainment. With its extravagant production, flagrant drama, and sold-out arena. With flagship show Monday Night Raw drawing 4 million viewers per week, story WWE owner and CEO Vince McMahon revealed the reason behind the brand's success. Talent is the only natural resource we have. Without it, we have nothing. There's no product. There's no show. There's no anything. For decades, McMahon and WWE have created some of the most iconic characters in pop culture. Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Macho Man Randy Savage, Ultimate Warrior, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and John Cena. But before they became household names, WWE characters are carefully developed in a minor league system. NXT, led by WWE icon and current Executive Vice President of Talent Development, Paul Levesque, aka Triple H. It is a backstage world no one has ever had access to until now. Another top UFC fighter said he would appear in WWE. Backstage update on Jason Albert as WWE NXT head trainer. According to F4WOnline.com, since taking over as head trainer of NXT, there have been no negative report coming out of WWE on Jason Albert's performance so far. Albert took over for Bill DeMott when DeMott left WWE back in March. Another top UFC fighter said he would appear in WWE. While speaking with fans at a recent UFC 186 press event, UFC star George St. Pierre talked about his past love of pro wrestling and had the following to say when asked if we would ever see him appear in WWE. And I quote, "It would be something I would really enjoy to do. I used to be a massive fan of WWF. My favorite was Shawn Michaels, Bret the Hitman Hart. To make an appearance or something special, I would love it." Jerry Springer talked what we can expect on Too Hot for TV, recalled meeting Vince, his statement with the Bella Twins, and more. Jerry Springer, who will debut a new Too Hot for TV show on the WWE Network tonight after Raw, recently spoke with Joshua Cordial of CraveOnline.com about the show, meeting Vince McMahon, and much more. Below are some interviews highlighted. And this is what Crave Online was talking about within the interview. What can we expect from WWE Too Hot for TV? What the format's like? This was and Jerry Springer would say, and I quote, "Well, the best example I can give is, that show Talk Through that had been on for years, where they show clips of various talk shows and make jokes. Translate that or shift it over to WWE. There is a vault of literally over 20 to 30 years of great fights and episodes filled with drama and backstory. It's outrageous, it's athletic, and it's funny, and we find the best moment in the vault of all these fights, and we show the clip and I get to joke about it. It's just a wealth of material." Quavo Online then asked him the question, "I was watching your statement with the Bella Twins last fall when you got carried out on a stretcher. How did you keep a straight face throughout that segment?" Jerry Springer went on laughing and he said, "Well, I tell you what, this is true. When I was down on the ground and they were on top of me, I said to one of them, I don't remember which, they look alike. How could I tell who was who? But anyway, I said to one of them, 'You got 25 minutes to get off of me.' And she started laughing. So that's my one memory of it, and it was great." Then Crave Online asked him another question. "Do you have a favorite story or person you met while working with WWE?" Jerry Springer answered, "I got to tell you, a big thrill for me was meeting Vince McMahon. He's iconic in the entertainment industry, and I realized how difficult it is to do what he does." Xavier Woods' very odd TNA and WWE achievement. How long was Ambrose vs. Harper at Extreme Rules? How long was Ambrose vs. Harper at Extreme Rules? For those wondering, the official match time for the Chicago Street Fight between Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper at Extreme Rules was 56 minutes and 10 seconds. Xavier Woods' very odd TNA and WWE achievement. When New Day won the WWE Tag Team titles at Extreme Rules last night, Xavier Woods became the first wrestler to ever hold the WWE and TNA Tag Team titles without actually winning either of the titles. Woods wrestled as Consequence Creed in TNA and replaced Adam Pac-Man Jones in an unsuccessful TNA Tag Title defense against AJ Styles and Tom Cole in 2007. Jerry Springer Network show debut tonight. This week, WWE NXT matches, news on this week's SmackDown, and King of the Ring taping. News on this week's SmackDown and King of the Ring taping. Tomorrow night, WWE will tape this week's edition of SmackDown and main event from Moline, Illinois. WWE will also be taping the semi and final of the King of the Ring tournament, which will air on the WWE Network. Jerry Springer Network show debut tonight. Just a reminder that the Jerry Springer hosted show Too Hot for TV will premiere on the WWE Network tonight, immediately following Raw. This week, WWE NXT matches. The following matches have been taped for this week's WWE NXT non-title match. WWE NXT Tag Team Champions Blake and Murphy versus Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. Dana Brooke versus Bayley. Hideo Itami versus Adam Rose. Becky Lynch versus Sarah Dobson. Sami Zayn versus Alex Riley. Backstage update on Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. WWE TV return, with Eric Bischoff be working with Global Force Wrestling. Backstage update on Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar WWE TV return. According to F4WOnline.com, the current plan in WWE is for Paul Heyman to remain off WWE TV until July, which is likely when Brock Lesnar will also make his TV return. There has been speculation that Lesnar will be returning to feud with Seth Rollins. Will Eric Bischoff be working with Global Force Wrestling? Crescent City Wrestling held a Q&A over the weekend with Eric Bischoff and Jeff Jarrett. Karen Jarrett asked Bischoff if he would be working with Global Force Wrestling, and both he and Jarrett said yes, and that they are in the early stages of planning that out. Raw in Chicago. The WWE will be returning to the All-State Arena in Chicago, Illinois on Monday, July 6, 2015 for Monday Night Raw. WWE confirmed King of the Ring matches on tonight's WWE Raw broadcast. Updated. This has been updated from eWrestling News. WWE has confirmed that the preliminary matches for the King of the Ring will take place on Raw. WWE.com posted the following preview of the King of the Ring WWE Network special set for Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Continuing the action from Monday Raw, the King of the Ring tournament semifinals and final will take place live on the award-winning WWE Network. The original from the story, WWE is reviving the King of the Ring tournament for the WWE Network. Michael Cole announced during a Extreme Rules that the finals of the tournament will take place on the network on Tuesday. The network currently has the 8 p.m. Eastern Time hour set for a WWE Network exclusive with a description of to be announced. Live WWE action and entertainment featuring top WWE stars. With an hour currently slated for the special, it is possible that the semi-final and perhaps even preliminary matches could air on the network as well, or possibly on Raw, with other content added into the network special. Renee Young 10 minutes long unfiltered air after airing is currently set for 9 p.m. Eastern Time, but WWE could easily bump that back to 8:50 p.m. to take up the rest of the hour. John Cena vs. Rusev, I Quit match to take place at WWE Payback pay-per-view. A rematch between John Cena and Rusev for the U.S. title was set for Payback during Extreme Rules. The match arranged by Lana with the Authority was billed as the final chapter and will be an I Quit match. Backstage news on WWE bringing back the King of the Ring tournament. As reported earlier on the site, WWE announced during Sunday's night Extreme Rules pay-per-view that King of the Ring will be returning on Tuesday night. The special will be airing on the WWE Network. WWE.com provided more detail on the gimmick. WWE will start the tournament on Monday Night Raw, and then the final will air on the WWE Network on Tuesday night. According to F4WOnline.com, WWE has been planning on bringing back the King of the Ring tournament for more than a week. When is Paul Heyman expected to be back on TV? According to the Wrestling Observer, Paul Heyman is scheduled to be off of WWE TV until July. Brock Lesnar is also scheduled to return around July, so expect the two back on WWE TV then to promote Lesnar's next match at SummerSlam. Lesnar is rumored to return and face Seth Rollins at the event for the WWE World Heavyweight title. Well, that's it, guys. See you guys on the next one. Peace.